Mr. Jacklich, young
Mr.
man.
Abel.
What's going on over there today?
Beautiful day here in the valley. Always is.
All right, good. Well, down here in the desert today, wintertime, a little breezy out right now. Played some of the grass court this morning. It was a little wet this morning, but we still kind of played, which I kind of like. It's a little damp. You know that you can't come in and split step.
Yeah.
You got to have the good balance. You got to be on balance, good posture to execute shots, and you got to stay. You got to stay on top of your feet.
Yeah, you got to be light.
You cannot be messing around. So anyway, eventually dried up. It dried up out there, so it was good. But guys, want to welcome you to goldballhunting.com. Another episode in the days of our lives with Jeff and Brent. We are hashing out personal stories that we've had as players and also as coaches over our careers, and so we're doing this through these podcast episodes. But we've got a couple things that we want to get to you if you haven't already done so. Number one, we want to help you build some more confidence in your tennis game, and our philosophy on how to do that is to reduce your skill level range. Jeff, what is the definition of a skill level range?
Gosh, I'm so glad you asked, Brent.
That's what I'm here for.
So one day you come out and you're playing pretty good. You're maybe on a scale of 0 to 10. You're in that 8 range, maybe 7, 8 range.
Solid.
It's feeling great. Solid, right? And then the next day or 2 days later, you come out and you feel like you're in the 3 and 4 range, and
wow.
and it's like a chasm. There's like you can't even see 7 or 8 from where you're standing, right?
Yeah.
So what we're talking about here is being able to come out on a day-to-day basis and really narrow that range where you're solid and you're confident every day that you walk out to the court that your range isn't going to have these huge swings, that the range really kind of just fluctuates within a couple degrees of each other on a daily basis. And that's really when your confidence really starts to shoot through the roof, where it doesn't matter what's happening, every day you come out and you know you can count on your skill set and you can count on your toolbox.
Well, that's what confidence in tennis is really all about. It's not this magic thing that you're trying to find the zone. No, it's really about can you trust that every day you go out that you're going to be able to bring, if not your A game, pretty darn close to it. And the other thing too is it's just not day to day. Sometimes it's within matches where the first set you come out of the blocks and you're smoking. And the next thing you know is you're up a set and you're breaking the second set, and all of a sudden that range bottom starts to find itself again. Yeah.
Or it can happen the opposite. I mean, how many matches have you played? I know I've played, tons of matches where I come out, I feel flat. I'm just hanging on in the first set, and then, on a changeover or something, the sun comes out or something, and then all of a sudden, you start to find the ball, it starts to feel good, and then you just take off with the match, So we can't, that range can't. You don't panic at the beginning because it's just not. It doesn't just like show up.
That's right. That's right.
You got to help it show up.
So we've got a video. Jeff and I shot a private. It's a video that we shot. It's private, but it's free. We want to get it to you, and it's going to show you how to reduce your skill level range, build confidence, and the way you get access to that video, go over to goldballhunting.com and just put in a first name and email address, and you'll get access to that free video. The other thing we've got for you at the time of this recording, we still are offering a complimentary, a free, a no-charge 10-minute coaching call with me and Jeff and you. And all we ask is that if you schedule it, that you come to the call with the one thing right now in your game that you feel that it's like the big domino, right? If you could figure out this one thing, that if you could knock over that domino, that all the rest of those little areas of your game might just take a real bump up, and you'd start playing better tennis. So we want to offer that to you. The way you do that is you go to a little different website. You go to goldballhunting.com/call, CALL, and you can get that call scheduled. If you're outside of the U.S., we can do Skype, we can do Zoom. We don't want to restrict this just to the good old U.S. of A. So, so guys, here's what we typically do. If this is the first time you're joining us, is One day Jeff puts me on the hot seat. I don't know what he's going to ask me. And it's unscripted, a little bit unscripted. And then the next day I do the same to him. And one of the things that we've done recently is we've got a player survey for all our gold ball hunting players. And one of the questions we've asked them is that thing. What's that number one thing in their game they want to get solved? So, Jeff.
Yeah.
3'5" gal. 3'5" lady. And she's sick and tired of the lob fest. She's sick and tired of the lob queens. And the guys are the same way, right? The 3'5", 4'0" guy, it doesn't matter. It's all the same different skill levels. You get that one gal, you get the one guy, and all they want to do is torture you, make life miserable for you by just lobbing all day long. So I got to believe at some point in your playing career, you ran up against some dude that you wanted to go, if you throw up one more lob, I literally won't be able to reach up and hit another overhead.
Well, I solved it by just, leaving the court, driving home, and curling up in the corner into a fetal position and bawling my eyes out. That was my first step.
All right.
But then I had to show up to practice the next day.
Right.
So yeah, this is, no one escapes this torture in their career. And it doesn't matter if you're a junior on your way up, if you're in college. I mean, it doesn't matter. Whenever you start the game, at some point, you get to crawl through the Shawshank sewer line and experience this torture. Okay. So for me, it definitely was, coming out of the juniors into junior college and playing for Rich Anderson, NorCal coach. And he put such a heavy emphasis on doubles. And so we all on that team spent just untold hours, in doubles and working the patterns and working the geometry. So at first, I come in like a bull in a china shop, hit a ball. Every ball to me was an approach shot. So I was just, didn't matter. Boom. And then head first.
Here I am.
I look like the hood ornament on an old Buick, man. I was just like, here I come, baby. And then there goes the lob, it's like,
right, yeah.
God, it's like, well, the team that controls the net, gets to win the doubles match, right? And so, those words, permanently etched into my head. But there is, unfortunately and fortunately, there is a methodology to making that happen. And so Rich was just so instrumental in teaching us, the geometry of the doubles court, and the select when not to make your move to come to the net, and really kind of solve those riddles for us.
Well, and plus, back then you're a younger guy, right? I mean, you're in college, so in theory, if you're in college, guys or gals, you're quick enough that your partner doesn't really have to cover over you. I mean, if they're going to lob, you're going to go back and you're going to be able to, cover your half of the court for any lob that gets put back. And in theory, you're in college, you got yourself a good overhead. So, and despite that, you might have to go out and hit 75 overheads in that match.
Right.
And,
right.
But,
theory's great. We love theory.
Yeah, and the 3'5" gal, I mean, the 3'5" gal or guy, I can't, as a coach, I can't say, hey, you're going to have to cover every lob that goes over your head, and those real deep ones, I want you to go back and I want you to scissor kick the overhead and then come on back in and spike it and come back in. So, I remember when I first started doing a lot of, and this was a lot of club level men's and women's coaching for doubles. And so I kind of brought my younger doubles game into it. And I would go, just like you said, guys, look, first team that gets the net is going to win the points. I can guarantee it.
Right.
I can guarantee it.
Right.
And yet they kept getting lobbed. They kept getting lobbed over and over. And they go, gosh, Brent, okay, we're constantly up here at net. but we're still getting lobbed to death.
Right.
What do we do now?
When does the lobbing stop, Brent?
Yeah, right. So apparently, because our presence up here doesn't really bother them, I said, well, look, yeah, you just got to make that approach shot bigger, man. You got to take that volley and really stick the volley, put them under pressure. So they'd go in and they'd approach, and the approach would be, maybe 3 miles an hour faster, because that was really their comfort level. Anything faster than that, the ball was in the net or else it'd fly deep. The volley, the volley technique was not world class, right? And we're asking 3-5, 4-0 players to do things that technically are not realistic, and I was just stubborn on this thing, just boneheaded, just going, well, look, all right, we got to work harder. Do you really want it? Do you really want this?
That's right.
No,
listen,
Brent,
Sally.
I don't.
Yeah, listen, Sally, you're only cheating yourself. Drop and give me 20, right? I mean, come on.
So I know that you've done the same thing, and I've had to do the same thing. It's a completely different way of challenging that lob king or that lob queen,
right?
Which is not having to perfect the overhead, which is not having to cover every darn lob that goes over you. There are ways where you guys can work together as partners, where your partner can cover the other side, so that you're not forced to cover the whole thing. So, good stuff, Jeff.
Understanding your skill set
is huge,
and then being able to apply that skill set in a manner that allows you to actually get to the net, but in a slightly different fashion, because you're not going to be bound by theory. You're going to be bound. You're going to actually start doing it boots on the ground. What's the reality of how I can make this happen? So there's a way to do it.
The other thing too is, how do you challenge the lobber? And it's not just big first serve and trying to get a short return. It's just not a real tough approach shot. It's not just big huge groundies. It's not just volleying deep and eating them up. So my recommendation, guys, is look, if you are struggling at all against the lob king or the lob queen, is jump on a 10-minute call. We'll just do a private call, just you and me and Jeff. It's a free call, and the way you get on that call is just go over to goldballhunting.com/call. That's CALL, and you can schedule something that's convenient for you. And we'd love to see if we can work through this for you and give you some help on how to overcome the lob king and queen, which, as Jeff said, you're not escaping it. Even if you're playing singles, you're not going to escape at any skill level that player. And it can be super frustrating. I mean, really frustrating if you don't have a good plan. So, Jeff, on that, what else? Anything else we want these fine folks, for hanging out with you and me and spending time with us again today, because we are going to do this again tomorrow. We've got a couple things we'd like them to do.
I think we'd like them to like us. Like us.
Find that button. Click the like button somewhere.
Share button. Subscribe button. And then let us know down below. If you want to make a comment, shoot us a line.
Absolutely. All right, man. Good. Listen, guys, thanks for hanging out with me and Jeff today. Fun as always. Time to get out there. Help someone else have a great day. Jeffrey, we're going to do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.